morning. We are in, let's see, the very end of this chapter on page 67. We're finishing up how to apply the law of reflection. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to set the timer. Okay. All right, number 3. Cartoonist Henri Arnold. I feel like that's how you say that, Henry. With the I. He said, "The wise man questions himself, the fool others." Ooh. The law of reflection will do you little good unless you are intentional in your thinking time. You make yourself intentional by asking yourself tough questions. Where do you most need to grow right now? Is it in self management? Is there an issue that you can't seem to wrestle down? Are you experiencing a plateau in your career? Are you failing to win at the most important relationships in your life? Do you need to examine or re examine your purpose? Do you need to assess what you should be doing in your second half? Whatever your issue is, create questions around it and spend time writing your answer to those questions during your scheduled times of reflection. I gotta schedule those. That's my to do. I need to schedule my reflection times. And I love the importance of questions. Like it keeps coming back because it's so important to ask other people questions, but it's so important to ask ourselves questions too. All right. The law of consistency. Number 5. Motivate. Excuse me. Motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. I like that it doesn't say discipline keeps you moving forward, because that's not always the case, but it does keep you growing, which in a way is moving forward, right? I like how they worded that. The hallmark of excellence, the test of greatness, is consistency. Jim Tressel. When I started my speaking career, I believed that motivating people was the key to helping them succeed. If I can get them moving in the right direction, I thought they will be successful. I would do my best to give people reasons to work hard. I'd try to make them laugh. I'd try to touch their hearts. My goal was to inspire people so much that they'd be ready to charge hell with a water pistol. When I was done, I'd walk away thinking I'd done a good job. But often, whatever motivation people received didn't seem to last very long. I'm still a big believer in motivation. Everyone wants to be encouraged. Everyone enjoys being inspired. But here's the truth when it comes to personal growth. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. That's the law of consistency. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how many opportunities you receive. If you want to grow, consistency is key. How to grow in consistency. If you want to become more disciplined and consistent in your performance, you need to become more disciplined and consistent in your growth. How can you do that? By knowing the what, how, why, and when of personal growth or personal improvement. Take some time to consider the following 4 questions about your growth. Number 1, do you know what you need to improve? Journalist and author George Lorimer remarked, "You've got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction." Ooh, that's a good one. That's true, but it's important to know where to direct that determination. I've already discussed this in some detail, but I think it bears repeating. You must develop yourself to be successful. All the time I see people with purpose who are inconsistent in their progress. They have the ambition to succeed and they show aptitude for their job, yet they do not move forward. Why? Because they think they can master their job and don't need to master themselves. What a mistake. Your future is dependent upon your personal growth. Improving yourself daily guarantees you a future filled with possibilities. When you expand yourself, you expand your horizons, your options, your opportunities, your potential. From the start of my career in 1969, if I had spent all my time perfecting my ability to do my job, I never would have grown. But because I focused on improving myself, I grew from taking care of people to leading them. I went from speaking to audiences to writing books. I expanded from influencing only small religious organizations to many different kinds of organizations. I improved my focus from institutional to entrepreneurial. My influence changed from local to national to international. I went from maintaining organizations to founding and growing them. Why has this happened to me? Because what I did was try to improve myself, not just my job or position. It opened up my future. It has allowed me to achieve much more than I ever believed I would be capable of doing. E.M. Gray said, "The successful person has the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do." Ooh, that's a good one. The successful person doesn't like doing them either, but his dislike is subordinated to the strength of his purpose. Ooh, that's good. The more tuned in you are to your purpose and the more dedicated you are to growing toward it, the better your chances of reaching your potential, expanding your possibilities, and doing something significant. I feel like I need a highlighter. I did not bring a highlighter. I have to go back. Number 2, do you know how you are supposed to improve? The question of how to improve is one of the main reasons I started to work hard at changing from being a motivational speaker to becoming a motivational teacher. I didn't want people to walk away from one of my teaching sessions inspired but uncertain how to proceed. To grow, most people need knowledge, experience, and coaching. Do you have a handle on how to improve yourself? I have 4 very simple suggestions that can get you started. Match your motivation to your personality type. Not everyone gets motivated the same way or is motivated by the same things. To give yourself a fighting chance to become consistent in your growth, start by leveraging your personality type to get yourself going. There are dozens of personality profiles and systems that people use. I like the one based on the classical personality types that has been taught by Florence Ladauer. The first type of person is phlegmatic. The strength of people with this personality is that they are easygoing and likable. Their weakness is inertia. If you're phlegmatic, how can you motivate yourself? By finding the value in what you need to do. When phlegmatics see the value in doing something, they can be one of the most tenacious, meaning stubborn, of all personality types. At the opposite end of the personality spectrum from phlegmatics are cholerics. The strength of people with this personality type is that they take charge easily and make decisions easily. Their weakness is that if they are not in charge, they refuse to participate. If you are choleric, how can you tap into internal motivation? By focusing on the choices you can make. Every person is in charge of his own growth. Choose how you will grow and stick with it. The most fun-loving of all the personality types are people who are sanguine. They are often the life of every party. Their weakness is often lack of focus. If you're sanguine, how can you motivate yourself to grow? By making a game of it. If that seems impossible, then give yourself rewards for incremental success. The final personality type is melancholic. These are life's perfectionists. Attention to detail is their strength. But because they desire to do everything perfectly, they are afraid of making mistakes. If you are melancholic, how do you motivate yourself beyond that fear? By focusing on the joy of learning details and the potential for developing a level of mastery over your subject matter. As you can see, every personality type has its strengths. You just need to tap that strength in your personality to set yourself up for success when it comes to motivation. Start with the simple stuff. What is the number one mistake of first-time gardeners? The same as that of many people who approach personal growth for the first time, attempting too much. What is the result? Discouragement. When you attempt too much too soon, you're almost guaranteed to fall short of your desired results. That is demotivating. The secret to building motivational momentum is to start small with the simple stuff. A humorous take on this thought was captured in the comic strip Peanuts by Charles Schulz. After striking out on the baseball field as usual, Charlie Brown returns to the dugout and slumps down on the bench. Rats, he laments. I'll never be a big league player. I just don't have it. All my life I've dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but I know I'll never make it. Lucy, ever one to give advice, replies, Charlie Brown, you're thinking too far ahead. What you need to do is set more immediate goals for yourself. Immediate goals? Charlie asks. Like many people, he has never heard of such, or he has never considered such a thing. Yes, Lucy advises, start with the next inning. When you go out to pitch, see if you can walk out to the mound without falling down. Industrialist E. McGregor observed, I work on the same principle. Yeah, that's okay. Hold on. Can you wait 20 seconds? Okay, we're almost done. I work on the same principle as people who train horses. You start with low fences, easily achieve goals, and work up. It's important in management never to ask people to try to accomplish goals they can't accept. If you want to gain momentum and improve your motivation, begin by setting goals that are worthwhile but highly achievable. This is so important and hard because we want to run, but it's not happen. All right. Have a good day.